6 ละ
Greetings, everybody.
นมัสการเจ้าค่ะ
Are we live on Facebook already?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. It's not on yet. Maybe a little bit more, a few more minutes. Facebook Live is not yet on. Waiting for it.
Today we use
Yeah. Beginning.
yes. Okay.
Starting now. Okay, good.
Okay, we are on.
Facebook on. Okay. Greetings to everybody. I hope you are well, happy, and practicing the Dhamma in as much as you can. We'll go to Gokseng for the first question, if he has any.
Greeting, Ajaan. Yeah, I have a question I'd like to clarify tonight. That is, Ajaan, you have often advised us to isolate ourselves to.
Your sound is very bad. Come on and off. Maybe you have to speak closer.
Okay, I'll speak closer. Ajaan, you have often advised us to live alone, isolate ourselves in order for us to progress. But at the moment, for householders like myself, with a family, with children, we are still not ready to do so. What is your advice? That how do we continue from here? We still have attachment to our family, still have attachment to, still not ready to live the householder's life at the moment.
Well, practicing Dhamma is like playing sport, like playing tennis or golf. If you can be either an amateur player or you can be a professional player. It's up to you. If you want to win the Olympic gold medals, you have to be a professional player. I mean, you have to put all your effort to the practice of the sport. If you're just an occasional player, like on the weekend when you are not working, your ability to compete with other people to get the gold medal will be almost zero. So it's the same way with practicing Dhamma. You can be occasional or amateur, or you can be a professional, a constant practitioner of Dhamma. Like monks. Monks are considered to be professional Dhamma practitioner, while lay people are considered to be amateur or vocational practitioner. So the medals that you get probably belongs to the monks more than to the lay people. If you see the record, the statistics, you see those who won the gold medals in Dhamma practices or the silver or bronze medals are usually monks. Rarely would there be a lay person who will be able to win a gold medal. There are some, but not many, as compared to monks. Monks are the main main group of people that attain to the 4 levels of enlightenment. So that's because the time, the input they put into the practice is total as compared to lay people who cannot commit themselves to full practice yet. So you shouldn't expect much result looking from the input you put in. This is a hard fact. It's not something, something to scare you or to discourage you, but that's a hard fact. If you want to get attainment, you have to be a full player, full practitioner, full-time practitioner, not a part-time practitioner. Okay? Does that sound okay to you?
Yes, I think it's very well answered. Thank you, Ajahn.
But when you first started, you can be a part-time practitioner. But you should put your goal on becoming a full-time practitioner eventually. The transition depends on you, how long you want to transit your practice from a part-time to a full-time. But you need to be practicing full-time to really get any result. All right? Okay, next. Really from Indonesia. Are you a full-time practitioner, really? Or part-time practitioner?
I hope to be a full-time practitioner, Ajahn. I try to be a full-time practitioner. And today I don't have any questions.
Okay. Anuraji from New Zealand.
Hi, good evening, Ajahn. How are you? Can you hear me, Ajahn?
Yes.
One question, Ajahn. In your translation for us, Desanas from Ajahn Mahabua, Ajahn Mahabua mentioned Mahasati, Mahapanya. So are these the states when someone achieves after jhana, or would you please clarify?
Mahasati and Mahapanya
Yeah.
is on the level of the Arahatamaka. You have to already attain to Anagami level. Then your mindfulness and wisdom will be constantly working in tandem all the time during waking hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes Dhamma Mahabua use the word automatic mindfulness and wisdom. You don't have to force it; it comes automatically.
Okay.
Like watches in the old days, you have to wind them before they invented the automatic watches. The same way, he refers to mindfulness and wisdom. Mindfulness might be constant on the jhana level, or not constant, but quite strong. I wouldn't say all the time, but with the level of attainment with wisdom, mindfulness and wisdom has to be working in tandem all the time.
Yeah.
Other stages you can still have lapses. The first, second, and third stage of enlightenment, you can have lapses in your mindfulness and wisdom. But once you get to the fourth, to the Arahatamaka, the path for Arahantship, your mindfulness and wisdom is working continuously, searching. Instead of waiting for the defilements to attack you, you are on the attack now. because the defilements are more subtle and
Wow.
they hide in the mind, in the chitta.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, understood. Thank you, Thangajan.
Okay, next, Alvin Lee from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajaan. I don't have any question today.
Okay. Forrest Town from Massachusetts.
John. I have a couple questions. So the first one is I've been trying to overcome lust by using the 32 parts of the body, especially the first 5 parts. But I find that sometimes with one of the parts, it actually increases the lust instead of decreasing the lust. So am I doing the contemplation wrong, or should I just skip that part?
Yeah, you should look at the disgusting part, don't look at the attractive part. The 5 parts are usually made to look attractive. The skin, the hair. With the skin, they have cosmetics to put on. The face, they have eyelashes, they have eyebrows, they have all sort of a paint color to paint the face to look attractive. So that's not what you want to look at. You want to look under the skin. That's where all the disgusting parts of the body are. Look at the skeleton. Look at the skull. When you look at the face of a person, try to use your X-ray eyes. You can contemplate on skull until it becomes part of your nature to look at skull. So every time you see somebody, you look right through the skin and look for the skull. Be a skull hunter, let's put it that way.
Okay.
Or be a skeleton hunter, looking for skeleton.
Okay.
Where are the skeletons? Oh, they're all around. Everybody in this room all have skeletons, but we don't see them because we don't train ourselves to search, to look for them. So this is what your contemplation is about. Try to look for the disgusting parts of the body, hidden under the skin.
Okay, that makes sense. So I'll move on from just the outer 5 and start looking inside.
Yeah. If you want to look at the outer 5, you have to look at old age. When people get old or when they get sick. People usually don't look good when they are sick or when they're very old.
Okay.
When the skin, they got wrinkles and the hair are not combed, not tidy. The backs are bent. So you have to look at old age or sickness or look at a dead body. You want to look outside. So you just want to look at the outside, look at the aging body, sick body, or dead body.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
But nowadays with dead body, they even try to make it cosmetic. They try to make it look good before for the funeral. You should look at the dead body in the lab when the police, when they have to do autopsy of a dead body to find out the cause of death. They will have to open up the body, look in the intestines, look in the stomach, see the content of the food in the stomach, for instance. And this is something you want to. But normally for people, they will be repelled by these images. That's because their mind is not calm enough. They don't have equanimity. They react strongly to these images. Aversion, strong aversion. Sometimes even faint. Some people try to look at an autopsy and then they can either vomit or they have a headache, severe headache or something. That's the reaction of the defilement. That's why you need strong equanimity from jhana. Once you have jhana, your mind will be calm and not reacting, not have no aversion, no attraction. If there are, they will be manageable. They're not overwhelming. Then that's the time for you to look at these disgusting parts of the body.
I'm sorry, there's a siren, but it's going to pass. Yeah, thank you. I have one more question, if that's okay. So my mind is starting to become a little bit more concentrated when I'm focusing on the breath, but it keeps on focusing on the people that I saw during the day. So
it means you're not mindful anymore. If you're not watching your breath, then you're not mindful anymore. You're not concentrating. You're not focusing. Just ignore what the mind wants to see and force yourself to see just the breath. If the mind will see other images, other people, just ignore them. They might be competing with your concentration. Sometimes you cannot get rid of them because your mind is not yet fully focused. So these images can come in, and wanting to get rid of them can be more distraction. So the best way to deal with them is just to ignore them and just concentrate on your breath. Like sometimes you have noises around you coming into your mind when you are watching your breath, and you know you cannot get rid of those noises. So just don't try to deal with them. Just ignore them. That's the best way. Just keep continuing focusing on your breath.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajaan.
All right. Next, Darren. Hi, Darren. From
Hi,
Singapore.
Yes, I'm from Singapore. Sorry, yes, I'm from Singapore, Ajaan. I have a question regarding the practice of mindfulness. So I want to ask is that as one practice more and more, does the defilement sort of get destroyed, or is it that the defilement doesn't affect the mind anymore? It's still there, but it doesn't affect the mind. Thank you.
Well, with mindfulness, you can stop the defilement temporarily. As soon as you are not mindful, your defilement can come up. If you want to get rid of your defilement permanently, you have to use wisdom. Use the three characteristics of existence. See the objects of your defilement. Your defilement wants something. You have to look at that something to be anicca, dukkha, anatta. Then you would then have no desire for that object permanently. But with mindfulness, you're only stopping the mind from thinking. When you don't think, your defilement cannot work, cannot do anything. The defilement use the thoughts, the thinking as the tool. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Ajaan.
All right. Lim from Malaysia.
Good day to you, Ajaan. I have a question today in regards to generating merit from meditation and also generating merit from performing dana. Are they of the same qualities?
Not the same intensity. They all merits mean good feeling, good mental feeling. With dana, that's a very low level intensity, low level.
Okay.
With meditation, this is higher level.
All right.
Intensity.
Okay.
And corresponding to the difficulties of generating them. With dana, it's very simple, easy. You just give up some of your possession. You get good feeling from that. Then the next step is harder, to stop from doing bad karma.
Right.
And then the third step is even much higher, harder than that, is to calm your mind.
Yeah. And also, for example, when we performing dana, does the merit started before, during, or after performing that? Because
After,
okay,
yeah. You have to give up your possession before you feel good.
Yeah, because sometimes I could feel happiness even prior to doing dana. That there is one of the feeling that I can see that the mind is automatically calm prior to performing dana.
Then you don't need to perform dana then.
Mm.
If that's the case.
Okay, right. Yeah,
What happened afterwards? After you perform dana, is it better?
It's the same happiness feeling.
Okay.
So that's why today I asked, is there any different of quality? So I got the answer right now.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Next, Claudia. Hi, Claudia from Germany.
Good afternoon from Germany, Tanachan. One moment, please. My cat also wants to participate at this Dhamma talk. Okay. Yeah, so hello. Good afternoon from Germany. It's good to be here, and I have no question today.
Okay. And then we go to Adeline and Philip from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajaan. I got quite a simple question. In when a being is in the Brahma realm, does he still create any karma?
When you're in a Brahma realm, it's like when you're in jhana. When you're in jhana, the mind becomes inactive temporarily. So there's no karma performed. Most realms are, except human realms, that's the only realm that karma are being performed. The rest of the other realms are realms where you go reap your consequence of your good or bad karma. Except human and animal realms. Animals also do karma. But the rest, they are more experiencing the fruits of their good karma or bad karma. So like good karma is like going on vacation. You don't have to work. You just spend money and enjoy yourself. And bad karma is like going into jail, get locked up, pay for your bad karma. Yeah.
So being in the Deva realm or a Brahma realm is as if like you're staying in a samadhi for a long time until the thing wears off, and then you.
Deva realm are not in samadhi. Deva realms are those who keep the 5 precepts and practicing dana. So for them, it's like going on a sensual vacation.
Oh.
They're experiencing good sensual pleasure from eating, from drinking, from whatever. Like when you have good dreams. But with the Brahma world, it's empty, it's still. The mind becomes still, like in jhana.
Okay.
All right?
Understand.
Okay. Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajaan. No questions for me right now.
Okay. Bruce Lee from Indonesia. No question either.
No question, Ajahn. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Apan, you're next.
Okay.
From Malaysia or Indonesia? Plus. Singapore.
Good evening.
You can talk now. You can talk now.
Good evening, Ajahn. I have a question. Every morning after chanting Parita, I sitting meditation. In my sitting meditation, Why I cannot stop thinking, then Ajahn?
That's because you don't have enough mindfulness to stop it. You should train yourself with mindfulness before you meditate. When you're chanting, you should not think about other things. Just concentrate on your chanting. Then after that, when you meditate, you might be thinking, but not as much. The thinking only stops with strong mindfulness. So you need to train yourself, develop mindfulness. Not just when you meditate or when you chant. You should do it all the time, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. You can focusing your attention to your body movement. Watch your body, what your body is doing. Then let your mind go think about other things. Then you can restrain your thinking this way. When you meditate, then the thinking will not come up. Or if they come up, they won't come up as strongly as before. You have to train yourself in mindfulness. So you need to restrain your thinking even when you're not meditating. And then when you meditate, then your thought will not interfere with your meditation. Okay.
Ajahn, thank you.
All right. Next, Kwan Lee Man. Kwan Lee Man, where are you from?
Ajahn, I'm from Malaysia.
Do you have any question?
Yes, Ajahn, I have asked this question on Sunday. I'd like to continue asking please.
Okay, can speak louder.
Okay. I asked about the four foundations of mindfulness, the body, feeling, state of mind, and thought. So Ajahn explained that the five aggregates comes under the investigation, the mindfulness of body and feeling. So Ajahn, the investigation of thought and state of mind, does it lead to the moment or the moment in the investigation of dependent origination?
The mindfulness of the mind, the mental objects, based on the four nama khandas, not the body, not the rupa, just four, not the five khanda, just the four khanda. That's the function of the mind, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. The other one that generates all sorts of emotions or mental objects in the mind. So you want to investigate them as being anicca, dukkha, anatta. So now you investigate the body and feeling.
Ajahn, which one will lead to the dependent origination?
See, dependent origination is how the mind works. Starting with avijja, ignorance. With ignorance, not knowing where the real happiness is. The mind thinks happiness is through the sensual objects. So it tells Sankhara and Vijnana to connect to the body so that it can use the sensual organs such as the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body to contact the sensual objects. See? And once there is contact, then there is feeling, good, bad, or neutral feeling. And with feeling, you have desire. Whether it's positive or negative desire, depends on the feelings. If it's good feelings, you want more. If it's bad feeling, you want to get rid of it. And with this comes attachment to your desire. With attachment, meaning you want to enjoy more of the sensual objects. You then start to have becoming. By becoming and looking for more sensual objects to enjoy. And when your body breaks down, then you have to go look for a new body to continue with your quest for sensual pleasure. See what I mean?
Ajahn, do we investigate the five aggregate and dependent origination during sitting or in any posture?
You don't worry about the dependent origination. This is just a diagram of how the defilement works. In order to get rid of your defilement, you investigate the body, the objects that the defilement go after. The defilement go after the five sensual objects. Pictures or images, rupa, sound, smell, taste, and tactile objects. You have to look at them as being dukkha, not sukha, not happiness, but they will give you suffering. The reason is because they are temporary. They give you temporary happiness. But when that happiness disappears, then you have sadness. So you want to teach your mind not to go after the sensual objects. By seeing that.
So Ajahn, we look into all these in any moment, not necessarily only during sitting, is it right?
Cannot hear you.
Do we investigate into all this, look into all this during our sitting, or we do it in any posture?
Before you can investigate, you need to have the tools. And the tool is mindfulness and samadhi. Without this tool, you cannot truly investigate significantly to get rid of your defilement.
So this is done through meditation? Meditation.
When you meditate, you don't do any investigation. You want to develop jhana, you want to develop equanimity, because you need equanimity to stop your defilement. Nothing can stop your defilement. Even though if you know with wisdom that they are bad for you, but your desire still want to get what it is bad for you. Because the mind doesn't have the strength to resist the defilement. So you need to develop strength for the mind first, which is equanimity. By developing mindfulness and meditation to get into the fourth jhana. Once you have this, then you can then study the nature of the sensual objects, the nature of the body, the nature of anything that the mind becomes attached to or have desire for them. To see that they are all anicca, dukkha, anatta. When the mind sees that they can cause the mind dukkha, then the mind will cease to have any desire for them. It's like when you see, if you used to drink a certain beverage, and one day you discover that this can cause you cancer. Once you discover that this can cause you cancer, you're not going to drink that beverage anymore because you don't want to get cancer. Same way, once you see with wisdom that everything that you go after will cause you dukkha, will cause you suffering, sadness, then you will stop going after them. Like you're going after a boy, a man. You might be happy when you get him at first, but when he leaves you or die separate from you, then you become sad again. But you don't see this with wisdom. Even though you know he might die, but you still insist, he's not died yet, so I want him anyway, right? Because you're not happy, your mind is not happy without equanimity, without jhana. If you have jhana, you have equanimity, your mind can be happy alone, not having to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend to make you happy.
No, I'm alone all the time.
Okay, but do you still want to have do you still want somebody to make you happy?
No.
You want something to make you happy?
No, I don't need.
You don't want anything at all?
No.
You sure?
I'm happy. Yes.
But then why don't you become a nun then if you're happy?
Yeah, I left my job last year. I practice on my
But you still want something to make you happy, right? Sensual objects, like what you see, what you hear.
No, I'm only I'm only enjoying meditation.
Okay. Well, then you're on the right path then.
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Okay. Next, Alfredo from Brazil. Alfredo.
Hi, Bante.
Good to see you.
Thanks.
Good to see you. Happy?
Yes, my chief is not very good, but
it's a ninja. It's a ninja.
Yes, my Chitta Nupassana is very, very good. The word is not a problem, a big problem. My Chitta Nupassana is good. My practice is very good.
Your mind is Ubeka.
Yeah, more or less, not completely.
Not completely.
I'm training.
Okay. Yeah, to have Ubeka.
Yes,
not be disturbed by anything.
Yes, I try. My practice is try. I like for asubas. I like a lot. Not the word not have to be a problem to our practice, né, Bante?
Okay. Is that all?
Yes, thanks.
Okay.
I take two vaccine, COVID vaccine.
2 shots already. Good.
Second dose, second part of vaccine.
I see. Pfizer or what? What kind of Pfizer? Tomorrow I'll take my second shot, AstraZeneca.
Oh, tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Second party.
Yeah, second shot.
Yes. Is less quantity. Less quantity, second part.
I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't know. Okay.
Very, very less. Very, very less quantity.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Wish me well.
You are a very good teacher.
Okay.
You win merits, Bante, very merits.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Machi Song. Are you from Thailand?
I'm Malaysian, but practicing in Thailand.
I see. Where in Thailand? Can you
Samut
disclose?
Sakhon.
Samut Sakhon.
Yes.
I see. In a monastery or in a nunnery?
In a nun's place.
Nun's place. Okay.
Yes.
Many nuns there?
We have about 5 to 10.
5 to 10. Okay.
Yes.
Very small.
Yes, small community.
Is it a forest type of nunnery?
It's not a forest type. It's a center.
I see. Is it in the town itself or outside of the town?
It is in Ban Pheo. It's out of
the city limit.
City. Yes.
Okay. So it's quiet enough for meditation.
Yes, it's quiet.
Okay, you have any question?
I don't have any question today. Just try my luck to come for this meeting for the first time. So I'm very happy to be able to be here.
Okay. You're welcome to join us anytime you like. Every
Thank
week,
you.
every
Thank
Tuesday
you.
night.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, Sri and Jack from Vancouver. I heard your country now. Let American enter into your country now. But not the other way.
Ajahn, you're so up to date, Ajahn.
I just watched NBC
the long
News.
queue.
It's a long queue, I heard, Ajahn.
6 miles long, I think. Have any question?
You have a question?
I just want to say it's a really good one. The new one about 4 requisites of the
living
physical and mental. Like wow, the mental one, wow, it's really good. The latest the post.
Do you have them already? Or are you accumulating them, or you are accumulating just the body parts, but not the mental part?
Yeah, I try to. I think I try to have the the first 2. Second 2 is practicing harder.
Samadhi and Panya.
Yeah, the one is it's
Dhyana and precept is easier. So you have food for the mind, and you have clothing for the mind, but you don't have a house for the mind yet. Medicine for the mind.
Yeah, medicine and house. It's harder. But food and clothing. I think
easier.
Yeah. I think Sue has a question.
Yes. Ajahn, can you briefly explain to us about the Noble Eightfold Path, right effort and right mindfulness?
Well, right effort means the effort that you put in for the practice of Dhamma practices. That's what it means. It depends on whatever level you are in. If you're practicing dana, put the effort in doing dana. If you're practicing sila, put the effort in doing this thing. Merely dana, sila, and bhavana. That's the right effort.
Oh, okay.
And then, if you have right effort, then you will also be developing right mindfulness. This is part of developing samadhi. Like before you can practice anapanasati to get into jhana, you need to develop mindfulness first. So you have to develop the right type of mindfulness. The right type of mindfulness is the mindfulness that doesn't think, that stop the thoughts. There are 2 types of mindfulness really. One that you focus on doing something, but your mind is still thinking on what you focus upon. Like when you're working,
you
use your thought, but your mind focus on just on the work that you do.
Okay.
But you still use your thoughts. But with right mindfulness, you want to use just the focus and not the thought. You want to eliminate or stop the thoughts. And just be merely knowing what you are watching, like your breath. So this is what it means by right mindfulness. So you want to develop this, focus your mind on something to stop your mind from thinking. Except if you use mantra, thinking like this is okay. Thinking with a mantra doesn't lead you anywhere. Doesn't lead you to more thoughts. You eventually stop your thoughts completely.
Yes. Okay. Then the goal is to get to the samadhi, the right.
Samadhi is the 4th jhana.
Yeah.
Right samadhi, not the samadhi that allows you to connect with the spiritual beings. It's called upajjhara samadhi. Give you psychic power. Right, read the mind of other people. Or recollecting your past lives. These are useless for the practice of vipassana. They don't support your practice of vipassana. You need to get into jhana because that's where you get equanimity. That's where the mind has the strength to resist your defilement.
So Ajahn, in order for us to practice the right effort, right mindfulness, again, we go back to deepen our faith in Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and also to raise the virya, the energy, right?
That's right, the same one. It's the same one.
The same things like go back to, okay. Yeah, I think that's my question. Thank you, Tanaja.
Yeah, in the for mental faculties, we not mention about sila or dana because that's a lower level of practice. We're concentrating on the highest level of practice or bhavana. Bhavana, you need to have this faith that bhavana will lead you to the cessation of suffering. Once you have faith, then you will have the effort to do the bhavana by developing mindfulness and wisdom, samadhi and panya.
Okay.
All right.
Yes. Thank you, Tanaja.
Okay, thank
you. Now it's for you to do it. Now you understand. The next step is to do it.
Yes.
Okay.
To raise the
have you started developing mindfulness from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep yet? Or not yet?
Not yet. I know I need to, but not yet.
If you don't get forward. You don't move forward.
Yeah.
In your practice.
So Ajahn, when we recite Buddho, it's always like background when like doing things. Is that okay? Like,
as long as you don't think about other things, it's okay. That's what it's there for. To take place of your thoughts. Replace your thoughts with Buddho.
Yeah. Only when we catch our thought, then we can go back to Buddho.
So it means you're not mindful with Buddho. You lost Buddho.
Yeah, we'll keep doing it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Next, Gek Yenso from Penang.
Good evening, Ajaan. Ajaan, I have one question. Some of the Buddhists, right, they're having pets at home like dogs, cats. What is your opinions about this? Should the Buddhists feed those animals at home?
It depends on whether you can afford it or not. If you have time and money to feed them, fine. But if you become a monk, then you shouldn't, because the monk has no money and no time to look after pets. Yeah.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean monks are not having no compassion or loving kindness. But it's just a matter of necessity. Monk has some more important works to do than metta and karuna. Monk has to develop upekkha and wisdom. But once he became enlightened, then he can also, if he likes, he can have pets. Like Long Time Mahabua in his final days, final years, lots of people give him dogs. So he doesn't have to look after them because he got other monks to look after him.
Okay. There is certain opinion saying that it may become attachment,
Yes, there will become attachment.
And they cannot let go of the animals.
If you want to go on the path of Nibbana, you have to try to loosen your entanglement as much. All entanglement, actually, not as much. You should try to cut off, sever all entanglement and be alone, so that you can go live alone and practice.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Tanajan.
Next, Vignesh VK from India. Not yet. The microphone is not yet unmuted.
Hello, good evening, Ajahn.
You from India? Are you from India, Vignesh? I think your connection is not good. Comes
Hello.
on. Yeah. Are you from India?
From Malaysia.
Indonesia. Okay. You have any question? Your connection is not good. I'm sorry. I have to skip you. Now you might have to come back later on because you're not saying anything right now. Your picture freeze on the screen. So let me go to Evie from Indonesia.
Hello, can Ajahn hear me?
No, I hear your background noise.
Okay, voice okay. Hey, my mama. We are good. Can Ajahn hear me now?
No, cannot. I hear your daughter's sound, not your sound.
Oh, hear my daughter's sound. Okay, let me be on. Ajahn hear me now?
Okay.
Okay.
Tell your daughter to go away, to be quiet.
Wait, cho mấy chú luôn. Yeah, they are just like the mind, Ajahn. So I want to asking. When we meditate, I was balancing my mind awareness while meditating, and it's like holding the needle in the water. So I often force my mind so that other thought don't comes out, but the headache arises because the mind is just like a child fighting when it's brittle. Can I force my mind like that, Ajahn?
If you can force your mind, then you should not have any reaction. If you have reaction, then it means you cannot force your mind. So you should instead of force your mind, you should lead your mind away from your thoughts. This way, instead of letting your mind keep thinking about this and that, lead it with chanting or leading it with a mantra. Then there will be no reaction from the mind. But when you try to force it, it will retaliate and fight back.
And what when the thoughts arise, like sometimes when I was
just ignore the thought and just keep focusing on your mantra or your chanting.
Back to the breath, back to the breath, back to the breath, just like that.
Yeah, the breath or the mantra or the chanting.
And I want to ask about Dana. Why is Dana included in mind development activities? But when I donate, sometimes I just feel normal, no joy, no happiness. Is this be useful in activity development the mind?
Well, Dana is a low level of good feeling. If you donate some money and you feel that you don't feel anything, maybe you should donate more. Try to double your donation and see how you feel, or triple your donation. It's like eating thing. If you only eat one plate, you might not feel being full. So try to eat 2 plates or 3 plates. Then eventually you start to feel the effect of the food that you eat. Same way with Dana. Maybe you're not doing enough by eating food. You might just eat a couple of spoons and then you stop eating. Then you say, oh, I don't feel full. That's because you don't eat enough of the food. Same way with Dana. Oh, I don't feel anything by giving this amount. Maybe you should try to increase it 10-fold, 100-fold and see how you would feel like.
Okay.
All right. Okay, I guarantee you will feel good. But you have to donate to the cause that you like, then you can see the goodness from your giving. Like donate to the school or to the hospital or And you can see the result of your donation. It has effect on other people.
Yeah, I donate the monastery every month.
Yeah, sometimes you don't see the result from your donation, so you don't feel anything. Because you don't know what the monastery will do with your money, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But if you know the monastery will pay for the light, for the electricity or for the water, then you might feel, oh, I'm helping the monastery to have electricity and have water. So you feel good that way. You have to know the result of your action, of your dana, in order to feel good. If you just give and you don't know what happens to the money you give, then you don't feel anything.
So we should give the fund to the monastery who is very needed, yeah, very need.
Yeah, they can put into good use. If you just give them the money and they just put it in the bank, don't do anything, then you don't feel like helping anybody.
Okay, Ajahn.
All right. So you should give to the needy. If the monastery has enough money already, maybe give it to some. Right now, lots of people have no food to eat because they're out of job. In Thailand nowadays, people giving food to people, unemployed people. Then you can feel that the benefit that you give to other people. It makes you feel good.
Okay, I understand.
Okay.
Okay, Ajahn.
All right. Next, Siddhartha from Indonesia. Almost the whole family, except your mother.
Yes, yeah, my mother still recovering, and since she cannot understand the English, so she does not attend, but my father still attend.
Okay. Any question from you today?
Today, I still not have any question, Ajahn.
Okay. Then let me go to Vince Chua from Singapore.
No question, Ajahn.
Okay. Sis Wanda, where are you from, Sis Wanda?
Hello, Ajahn. Good evening.
Are you from Indonesia?
Jakarta.
Jakarta, okay.
Yeah.
Any question?
I don't have any question for today. I just want to listen to you, to your Dhamma talk today. Thank you very much.
Next, Pai Lai.
Hello, Ajahn.
Where are you from? Where are you from?
I'm from Malaysia.
Malaysia.
Hi, I've got a question. I do meditation, but can you recommend some mantras or chanting that I could start on? I've never done it.
Okay. You can chant the triple gems, Itipiso, Bhagava, Arahant, Samma, Sambuddho. And you can do it many times around. Once you finish with the first round, then you can continue on. This is simple. If you want to use just one word or mantra, use the word Buddho, Buddho.
Okay. Thank you.
And this will help you to calm your mind so that it will be ready to do the meditation. Sometimes when you first start to meditate, your mind is still restless and agitated. So you use chanting to help calm your mind, calm your restlessness. Once the restlessness disappears, then you can then focus on your breathing. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Who else? Nobody turn on the video.
Witness again. Okay. Witness.
Oh, witness, you're back.
Yeah. Can you hear us? Witness from India.
We cannot hear you, Vignesh. You somehow you haven't.
Hello.
Okay, you're gone again.
Oh, sorry. Just now my line was good now.
Go ahead, speak.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay. Actually, I have a question. about the precept. The first is abstain from killing. If I eat chicken or anything, is still considered like I'm killing.
If you eat live chicken, then you are killing them. But if you eat dead chicken, then you're not killing them.
Oh, okay.
Some people like to eat live fish, sushi, raw fish.
Oh.
If they are alive and you eat them, then you are killing them at the same time. But if they're already dead, then you're not killing them when you eat them.
No problem, is it?
No problem.
Okay, and one more question. If sometimes I need to hide some information to my customer, is this considered like I'm lying to them, or
If you're telling the truth,
sometimes I need to not like need to tell different story or something, like lying to customer or anything.
If it's not true, then you are lying. If what you say is not true, then that is lying. But if what you tell them is true, but you only tell them half of the truth, then this is not lying. You're just not telling the complete truth.
Sorry, Ajaan, repeat again.
If you're telling what you tell them is true, then it's not lying. Even if you only tell half of the story, not the complete story.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, is that all? Okay, next, Ajaan Khan.
Thank you, Tanajan, for your teachings. I know you are not too excited about commentary. You want our practice. So this is like, I think, my indirect way of putting Dhamma into practice. That as it happens that I had to kind of literally be on a suicide watch for a family member, and for 2 nights in a row, like for 3 hours, what I did was that I put my headphones on and I played Namo Tassa Bhagavato, and every 15 minutes I have an alarm go on and I check. But after 3 hours, and I'm doing other chores and stuff, but my mind is not drifting anywhere because I'm waiting for the alarm to go on. But in the meantime, listening to the chants. When this was over, like for the 2 days in a row, I actually felt when the person went to sleep, and I was free, and I noticed that the peace and the calm actually really stayed, and I actually sensed the very, very little or no anxiety, and there was like a calm and a peaceful space, and that was a very, very very, very quiet, and it's like something that I have not really felt before so much, and I was kind of desiring more for that to happen. So I actually, in a tricky way, I think I used the situation, because otherwise in this period of 2 to 3 hours, my mind will be kind of very anxious and be very jittery and things. But here the chanting and intently listening to only one thing, I don't know whether it's Buddha's this thing or not, but I kind of sense that this is the kind of the peace that can arrive, and whether I'm getting a little bit of I'm using it in a very selfish way, but I think am I seeing the benefits that potentially lie beyond when you are actually doing mindfulness and adding on to what Sui was asking before, along that path. So essentially it's just my comment, and I have not been able to practice much, but this is what I've been able to do. Thank you.
Well, you use the chanting to help calm your mind. Or listening to Dhammatalk can also help you calm your mind. if you cannot do it yourself yet. But ideally, eventually you want to be able to do it on your own and not relying on anything else. But when you first start, you can rely on some external source, like the simile of when you're learning how to swim. When you first learn how to swim, you might use a tube to help you float the body. But once you know how to swim, then you can give up the tube, the life vest or whatever it is, because it's more cumbersome to swim with them. But when you don't know how to swim, then you want to have something to help you float your body first. Same way with meditation. When you cannot yet meditate because your mind is restless or agitated, then you can listen to Dhamma talks or chanting. And if you keep focusing on listening, then your mind can become more calm. Then you'll be able to meditate. But if you want to be independent from this external source, then you have to learn to do your chanting yourself.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
All right. I guess nobody else, everybody has the question. So maybe I go to Facebook for more questions. Is there any questions from Facebook tonight?
There are 2 questions from Facebook,ท่านอาจารย์, and both questions are from Silva A. First question, dear Ajaan, do Buddhism emphasize on surrendering to Buddhahood? Thank you.
It's not surrendering, it's the goal that we all want to become like a Buddha. But we don't call ourselves Buddha, we just call us those who achieve enlightenment, full enlightenment as Arahant. But they rely on the teaching of the Buddha, so they don't call themselves Buddha. A Buddha is someone who became enlightened on his own, not relying on other people to teach. But the rest of us, we rely on the teaching of the Buddha to make ourselves enlightened and free from suffering. So those who have free from suffering from studying the teaching of the Buddha, they call themselves Arahant Savaka. Okay.
Next question, dear Ajaan, we stopping our mind in meditation, but can we function in society without mind or thinking? Is the practice all about no mind, or controlling the mind, or taking out impurities from our mind? Thank you.
Well, you want to purify the mind. The defilements are the impurities that you want to get rid of. But in order to do this, you first need to stop your mind from thinking first. And then you can control the mind, direct the mind to think without defilements.
One more question,ท่านอาจารย์. A question from Champa. How not to have dream in our sleep despite having meditation? Thank you.
Dreams are something that you cannot control because when you go to sleep, you don't have mindfulness. So then the mind can dream anything it wants to. But if you train yourself in meditation, the more success you are in meditation, then the less dreams you will have, but not completely.
That's all, ท่านอาจารย์.
Okay, that's all. So we have plenty of time left. And so anybody wants to ask any more questions, just raise your hand and unmute the microphone. Willie first.
Yes, I have some questions,ท่านอาจารย์. I would like to ask, how much should we sacrifice the body for the sake of developing the mind? Like, for example, when I do walking meditation, sometimes after 2 or 3 hours walking, and then my legs become painful and sometimes swollen, but yet the mind is not calm yet. So should I continue, or like what kind of benchmark that we should use in such circumstances? Like, is it I just continue walking although the pain is still there until the mind is calm, or I just stop, I mean, until I cannot walk anymore because I cannot bear the pain? I mean, yeah, just like what kind of benchmark we should use.
You have to decide for yourself. As long as you don't destroy your body, that's the benchmark you want to watch for. Don't destroy your body or handicap your body. What you do doesn't kill your body or handicap your body, then it's okay.
Okay, so as long as, I mean, it's very painful, but it's not destroyed yet, so it's still okay.
Yeah. If you take a few hours rest and then the pain will disappear and you're back to normal, then that's okay. But if it's long lasting, then you should lessen your effort. You don't want to hurt your body, because your body is the tool that you need to use to get you enlightenment. Like the Buddha, after he fasted for 49 days, he realized this is not the path to enlightenment. So he stopped and come back and do meditation and sit for a long period of time instead. Okay.
Okay. Can I ask another question?
Yes.
I would like to ask about sexual desire. Is it purely mental phenomena, or there are some physical factors that affect that? Like, for example, maybe age or weather, or maybe like for women, maybe certain time in the month, the sexual desire tends to be higher. Because sometimes I feel, although I'm not in contact with sexual objects, but under certain circumstances, the sexual desire arises, like maybe cold weather, or I don't know. I mean, there's no object, but the feeling is there. So how to handle that kind of situation also?
Well, the principal factor is the mind, the mental factor, the sexual desire in the mind, embedded in the mind. But the physical aspect can also influence the sexual desire. Like if you eat too much, then you can generate more sexual desire than if you eat less. And also the kind of food that you eat, if there are lots of fat, they can, like butter, milk, and all these things can help stimulate the sexual desire through the body. Buddha Mahabodhi said when he was practicing, he wouldn't touch any milk. He said because every time he touched milk, he would get wet dreams.
Okay.
So sometimes it's the body condition. Sometimes when the body becomes too comfortable, then you tend to encourage the sexual desire to come up. But if the body is in a harsh condition, then you won't help the sexual desire to come up. If you don't eat full, if you eat half, and you don't feel full, but you don't feel hungry, then the likelihood of getting your sexual desire from eating is not there. So you have to also know moderation in eating. Eat enough to maintain your body, but don't eat until you become happy, satisfied with eating. Then you might have wet dreams later on. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Tanajan.
All right. I think Bruce Lee was raising his hand before, right? Bruce Lee. Go ahead. unmute your microphone.
First question, Ajahn. Is my voice clear, Ajahn?
Yes.
Is the mind works like as if in the first Newton law, and when it moves, it tends to move again. When it is quiet and still, then it tends to be quiet and still.
Yes, it's like Newton law, but it's mental. It's like every time you do something, then you want to do more of the same thing.
When
like,
it's sorry,
whatever. When you're not doing anything, then you don't want to do anything.
Then when it swings into, let's say, a negative ways, we can use the positive power to bring it back to neutral. As in when it's swinging to the negative ways, we use the power from positive ways to bring it back to neutral.
To bring it back, you need to stop the mind. You need mindfulness. You need sati. Sati is the most potential, most potent weapon to use to stop your mind, to stop your action, good or bad action. Even sometimes good action can be harmful to your practice. Like when you're practicing dana and you're practicing bhavana and you want to you practice dana, then these two practices are opposing each other. So you have to use mindfulness to stop your desire to go practice dana and force your mind to practice on bhavana only.
So, for example, when I remember years ago when I saved one of my friends from drowning, I saw that when I saved her, I became happy because I am happy because I managed to save her. But then I think again, if I am unable to save her, then I maybe got stressed. So I think that either good or bad, it is actually swinging.
Well, that's because you don't know how to think properly. If you think properly and say, maybe sometimes you cannot help. It's beyond your ability. So you just you don't have to feel bad about that. If you want to feel bad, then it's your defilements that's causing you to feel bad. Not being able to do what you wanted to do, help that person. So this is defilement. And when you feel bad, then it's defilement. But if you don't feel anything, you say, too bad, I try my best, but I cannot help.
Yes, sometimes UPK is considered as cynical to the world.
Yes, it's cynical, but it's a way to save your mind from suffering, protect your mind from suffering.
Yes. Panya is actually like someone who can see but powerless, and the strength of samadhi is like someone who has a strong power but it is maybe blind.
Yes, you need panya to direct the samadhi, the strength of the mind, applied properly at the right object at the right time. You used to have panya to do that.
So it is actually like a pair.
Like a what?
A pair that we need, a pair.
A pair of what?
Sati and Panya like a pair.
Yeah, they go together eventually.
Yes. Thank you, Ajahn.
Anybody else? Would you like to ask question?
Evie, she raised her hand.
Okay, Evie.
Okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Evie.
Sometimes my meditation is just like turn off the lamp. It's just like the head and all the body just off. How to explain? I don't know, but maybe I don't know what I mean. It's just like.
How can I know if you even yourself don't know? How can I know?
I don't know what this condition, but the body, my head, all of the body just I know I am still there, but no function. Just
doesn't matter. Just know it for what it is, and then know that it comes and go. It's anicca, okay, it's anatta.
I enjoy this condition, but not for so long. How to maintain it for long?
You have to find out yourself. You're the one who created it. So you have to look for the cause that bring it about.
Is that a calm state?
You have to practice. You have to know every step of your practice and know the result from your practice.
And 2 days ago, my hair, I feel just fell. So I realized, what's this? My hair like fell down. So I grabbed my hair. It's still there. And is that nimitta?
I don't know. Don't worry about the definition. Just worry of the actual thing.
And another day, I also hear people say hello to me. Sometimes say hi, and sometimes the children's sound say mama. So that is the kind of nimitta too, Ajahn.
I tell you, don't worry about the definition. Just know how to deal with them. The way to deal with them is just to leave them alone.
I rather like the off sensation, just like this.
Yeah, just know they are temporary. They come and go. Don't be attached to them. Let them come and let them go.
Okay, Ajahn. I have one question, but a little funny, Ajahn. In Theravada is mentioned about the last state of mind is affect to future births, all right? So what about a man who is suddenly dies because heart attack when he do immorality action with the asusila woman? Ajahn know what I mean, right?
Yes,
and
I don't answer this question. It's all hypothetical.
And suddenly he died.
How do you know? How do you know it's gonna be like that? You're just imagining it up and causing yourself to look for an answer, which is stupid. Don't look for something that is not there.
But yeah, I have read the news that the man died when he do asusila in hotel, and so I think, okay, where this man born in the another realm to hell realm or another.
Don't worry about him. Worry about yourself. Where you're gonna go.
Yeah, I just want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
You worry about everybody else except yourself. So you end up going to hell without knowing it. Okay? Just worry about yourself. Make your mind calm and detached from everything. Leave everything alone. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Salva Kuma? Salva Kuma?
Yeah, namaste, Bandiji.
From India.
Yeah, I'm from India. I just want to know that what is the final state of, what is the Nibbanic final state? How does it look like? What is it written in scriptures? In our meditation, we feel a lot of wavelets, vibrations, different sensation arising and passing. So is it like a stillness is the final state of Nibbana, or a complete wavelets or vibration is the final state of Nibbana? What is that final, which is never changing state, which is written in scripture?
The Buddha says supreme happiness. That's what Nibbana is.
supreme
Nibbana,
happiness.
yes, Nibbana Paramang Sukham.
Okay, but is it like a complete silent state or?
It's like something that you have to experience. Don't try to describe it.
Okay, but even happiness is a kind of a state, right? We cannot make it as a nibbonic final stage, right?
This is we're talking about the mind, not the body. The mind can be always happy all the time. Even the body is sick or the body is suffering, but that doesn't bother the mind. The mind and the body are separate. So whatever happens to the body doesn't affect the mind of a nibbana mind.
So, but nibbonic state is beyond mind, right? Beyond mind and matter.
No, nibbana is a happy mind. Is what it means.
Okay. No, but something I studied like it is beyond mind and matter.
I don't know where you're hearing from.
No, in Abhidhamma there is a concept called Pramata. In Abhidhamma.
Yeah, okay.
So Pramata, that final stage which is not changing state, it's said as nibbonic stage. Chitta, Sthirachitika, and two more things. It's a combination of four. So what is that stage like? I felt like it is a complete silent stage.
You're reading to me and you're asking me, and I don't read it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay,
Only thing I know about Nibbana is the supreme happiness. That's all. That's what I read. Nibbana Paramang Sukham. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Darren, raise your hand.
Ajaan, I have a question. So when mindfulness, when defilements feeling arises, when one mindfulness, samadhi, and wisdom is strong enough, one doesn't react to it. As one keep on doing it, not reacting, and bringing mindfulness, samadhi, and panya back, does this make a defilement weaker? And if we keep doing it, does in a way liberation happen in that way?
Yes, as long as you keep resisting your defilement, then eventually your defilement will then disappear permanently. They're like viruses. If you don't let it replicate, then eventually the virus will stop spreading.
Then for the complete eradication, does it mean that we need to have jhana and also the contemplation of anicca, dukkha, and anatta for the complete?
That's right. You have to see everything as anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Okay, understand. Thank you, Ajaan. Thank you.
Anybody else?
I saw Alfredo.
Hi, Bante. After tomorrow, I will have a meeting with my friends. Is 5 friends, one brother, me, 2, and we take a pizza, eat a pizza. They are very rich people. They have employed, they have daughters, they are married, and they like a very lot of me, but they expect me are the same life of theirs. It's what the right thing to do in occasion.
But how to deal with these people?
What?
How to deal with these people? Your question?
No, these people, my friends of adolescence, 40 years friends of me.
Okay. So what do you want?
And I one time for a year we meeting.
Okay.
In a pizza.
Okay.
And after tomorrow we meet him.
All right.
And there's not like a Buddhism, not like a jhanas, not like Vipassana.
Okay.
They don't meet in Buddha. They don't.
Okay.
They have They have daughters, they have
Okay,
married,
no
they have.
problem. Leave them alone. People are different. We are different. We cannot expect to like the same thing or dislike the same thing. Some people like watching football. Some people like watching tennis. Some people like watching golf. So let everybody do what they want to do.
Yes.
But we can still be friends. We can still be friends.
Yes.
We don't have to get mad at each other. We don't have to hate each other because he does something that you don't like to do. Maybe some people like gambling, some people like drinking, and you don't gamble and you don't drink. That's not our business to hate them for it. But our business is to be careful not to be near them if they do something bad, because they can influence you. If they like to drink, every time they see you, they meet you, they'll ask you to join them drinking. Right? Then you say goodbye, say no, thank you. I'm your friend, but I don't want to be close to you because you're a bad influence on my life.
Yes.
All right, but don't hate them. Still friends, but we just we cannot do things together. That's all. Because I don't drink. You drink, then you drink, but I don't drink. I can join you, but I can drink water or drink Pepsi or something. But don't force me to drink alcohol with you.
Yeah, his problem is not a drink. His problem is sensual pleasures. They have a lot of money. They have a lot of money.
Yeah, I just give
they
you
travel
example.
all the world.
Yeah.
This problem is sensual pleasures. Yeah. They not have very difficulties in life, and not look for Dhamma, not look for, not have enlightenment in mind.
They're like blind people. What do you expect from blind people? What do you expect from blind people? You expect them to see what you see? Okay.
Yes.
They're blind to Buddhism. So there's nothing you can do anything for them.
Yes.
Unless they ask you. If they ask you, then you can tell them why you should do dana, why should you keep the precept, why should you meditate. You can tell them. But if they don't ask you, then don't try, don't bother. Because they won't listen to you anyway.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
Okay. Next, anybody?
Okay, we have a newcomer, raise their hand.
Oh, a newcomer, who are you?
Yeah, Yaw Ying, but her name is written in Chinese. Let's see.
Okay, can you hear us?
Can you hear us? Push the unmute button. Okay, talk. You can talk now.
สวัสดีค่ะพระอาจารย์
You have to speak English. This is an English room.
we from เชียงใหม่เจ้าค่ะ
Okay, you have any question?
Many times that before I sleep I pray for Paparit, many of them, and then I cannot go to sleep after that. It's just like I feel awake, but not in the serious feeling. It's normal feeling. But when the time around 10 o'clock, I feel want to sleep. So this is kind of อุปสรรคคืออะไร
Obstacle.
เจ้าค่ะ obstacle of daily life sometimes. How can I deal with this?
Well, try not to chant to see if there's any difference when you're not chanting. If you still cannot go to sleep, then it has nothing to do with chanting. It's just maybe the time that you normally go to sleep. If you go to sleep before the time that you normally sleep, you won't go to sleep. If you used to sleep at 10 o'clock, then if you want to go sleep at 9 o'clock, you probably won't go to sleep. So it's not chanting. Chanting doesn't prevent you from sleeping. In fact, it helps you to go sleep easier.
Okay.
Okay.
เจ้าค่ะนมัสการเจ้าค่ะ
Anybody else? Siswando, I saw you raise your hand.
Yeah, Ajahn, I just want to ask you about my experience. Previously, I had an experience in my dream. I could see my dad was died around 3 or 5 days before he died. In my dream, I can see very clearly that occasion. And then, yeah, I understand after that it is anatta because I cannot control and I cannot even help him. But in terms of mind, why in my dream can see the future? Ajahn, could you please explain?
Well, maybe this is just a one-time incident, so you cannot really say it's your nature. Maybe it's just a coincidence or something. You just have to keep collecting the more data about your mind. See if you can dream the next time that you win a lottery ticket or something, and see whether it's true or not.
And then after that, a second time, I had a daughter. I can see in another realm. I don't know where is it. A daughter come to me, and then after that, my wife said that she was pregnant, and then I said that you are pregnant a daughter, and I said to her, and then it is for sure it is correct.
Okay, then you just have to keep collecting more data to make sure that what you know is always true or not.
Okay.
Don't let just one or two incidents summarize your conclusion that I have this future eyes, I can see the future.
Yeah.
You just have to wait and see the next time you dream, and then see what happens to is it true or not, and how often you dream. So can you rely on this dream to make money from it or not?
Yeah, but yeah, the first is very hurt me because I could see my dad die, and then I can't do anything for him. That's hurt me a lot. And then after that, I understand about that's another. I cannot control about it, and that's happened in the nature.
Maybe it's good for you so that when you know something's gonna happen, then you can prepare yourself ahead of time. So.
Yeah, but I don't know why in my dream it is a pop-up dream, and then I can see. That's
the reason why. Just know what it is.
Okay.
You don't need to know why.
Okay. Is that a mind or maybe a being, another being?
No other being, just your mind.
Okay.
If other beings, they have to tell you so. Like, I am Deva, such and such a name. I'm telling you something that you don't know. If there's no such thing, then just follow your mind.
Okay. It is relation to the past karma that maybe I have developed samadhi before. So
it doesn't really matter what happened. What's the cause? What you want to know is just how to deal with what happened.
Yeah, I understand. I realize that it is anatta, and I cannot do anything for it. Yeah, I couldn't help my father.
I know. It's a waste of time to go back and find out what causes this thing to happen.
Yeah.
Just know that this thing happens and know how to deal with them. That's all you need to do.
Okay. Ajahn, thank you very much for your advice.
Okay.
Philip.
Ajahn, I got a question with regards to the Mangala Sutta in relation to verse 2 and verse 3. The first verse, which is to recite in a suitable location. When the Buddha meant by the suitable location, what does he mean by to recite in a suitable location? That's my first question.
Well, good for your body and good for your mind. If you can find a place, to live, you want to live in a place where it's good for your body, doesn't hurt your body or your mind.
Okay. Then the other thing, the third verse is which is to have much learning and to be skillful in handicraft and well trained in discipline. In that, I know you have mentioned it before. I think that the skillful handicraft and the well trained discipline is always to be a monk, but for a householder, for the time being, before what do you call? Being a monk, what do you mean by what does the Buddha mean by a skillful handicraft and well-trained discipline?
Like to have special ability, like play the violin, play the piano. These are things you can call them crafts and handicrafts. Have any special gifts like singing or acting, because this thing will help you generate money, generate income for you.
Okay.
If you don't, you can learn, right? Some people go and learn in the school how to play music, how to play the piano, how to play the violin. That's what it means. To have special ability, to have something that you can do to generate income for you.
As long as it doesn't break the 5 precepts,
That's
right?
Right. That's right. As long as they don't hurt other people. Okay. Anything else?
That's it. Thank you.
That's it, huh? Anybody else?
Okay, we have another question from Facebook. 6 question.
Okay, Facebook.
There are 6 questions from Facebook,ท่านอาจารย์. The first question from Tony. Ajaan, good evening. How to overcome every time when meditate? The sleepy will happen. Thank you.
How to overcome when every time you meditate you feel sleepy?
Yeah.
Well, there are many reasons. Overeating can be one of them. If you eat too much, you can go to sleep. Secondly, you lack mindfulness. Your mindfulness is not strong enough. When you sit and meditate, focus on something, your mind can go fall asleep very easily also. So you have to eat less, don't eat too much, and try to maintain mindfulness in as much as possible. Develop mindfulness as much as possible. Then you might be able to get rid of your sleepiness. If that doesn't do the trick, then you might have to maybe go meditate in a place where it's scary, like in a cemetery or someplace like that. It will keep you alert when you're surrounded by fearful things, like ghosts or animals. Okay.
Next question from Aini Lam. Hi, Pra Ajaan. This is a question from my sister. What and when does a COVID patient experience in their last thoughts if they are in the coma? Thank you.
Just like anybody, it doesn't matter whether they I cannot say, I cannot predict what they will think. It's up to how they used to think. You have to train your mind right now to think properly, so that when the time comes, then you can force your mind to think properly. If you don't train your mind, then your mind will just think by your defilements.
Next question from William Tu. Good evening, Ajaan. Can I ask, when returning merits to my passed away siblings, what image should I imagine? The moment they pass away or their happiest moment? Thank you,ท่านอาจารย์.
Just remember their name. Just think of their name. Think of the person. Whatever image you want to think, it doesn't matter.
Next question from Tin Jack. Dear Ajaan, thank you for your today's talk. Can you elaborate the happiness that one will experience when he or she has entered into samadhi? Thank you.
This is something that cannot be explained. It has to be experienced. So you have to meditate and get into samadhi yourself. Once you get in there, then you'll know for sure. Because if I tell you, it won't make any difference to you. You just imagine it.
Next question from Karuna. Is this right, Ajahn? If we develop nimitta, it makes easier to come back into jhana. Thank you.
No, you don't want to develop nimitta. You want to focus on your meditation object to get you into jhana.
And the last question from Eddie Gan. Good evening, Ajahn. Is it right for laymen to masturbate? Is it considered break the 5 precepts? Thank you.
No, it doesn't consider to be breaking the 5 precepts. The 3rd precept is to prohibit you from having sex with other than your husband or wife.
That's all, Ajahn.
Okay. Looks like everybody have asked.
Sajaka.
I'm actually asking your opinion about this, and you have talked about these things, Ajahn, before. The karma, and when you are trying to help somebody, and you know in your heart from your experience and everything that is true and is useful, beneficial for them, but I've seen that no matter what you do, that person is in a situation they cannot listen or wouldn't listen. I don't know, but is it their karma not to listen, or is it my inability to put it in terms so that they will actually the words will go in and not cause rift? So can you give your opinion on that?
Well, it depends on the situation. To speak about generally, it can be anything. Maybe the person doesn't want to listen to what you have to say. And no matter how you say it, it doesn't matter. They just don't want to hear you. So we have to, in order to say something, to tell somebody something, you have to get their interest first. If they're not interested, then it's like pouring water into an overturned cup. Have you tried to pour water into an overturned cup? It won't go into the cup, right? If you overturn the cup and then you want to pour the water into the cup, the water won't go into the cup. Same way with people who are not interested in what you have to tell them. So it's useless to tell them anything.
I understand.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Looks like everybody wants to go home or already home.
Will is coming. William.
I think William just want to say hello, right? Hi, Will. You want to say anything, Will? Unmute your microphone.
There we go. I'm having it there. So yes, thanks, Bunty. I'll come back later if I can.
Okay, no question.
Well, it's my usual question is overcoming karma.
What you did already, you cannot prevent it from happening. The consequence of your karma, you cannot stop.
Yes,
but you can stop doing karma right now. If you don't do any new karma, then eventually there won't be any consequence coming to you.
Can you be separated from the Dharma? Like the Buddha used that phrase when he became enlightened, that he said he would serve the Dharma. And I don't quite know what that means, but the question is whether you can be separated from that.
The Dhamma is the truth that the Buddha had attained to, and what he wanted to do was to spread or share the Dhamma to other people. That's what it means.
Yes.
But the Dhamma that you already have in your mind will always be within your mind forever.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
All right. I think it's about time for us to call this meeting to an end. I hope that you have enjoyed and benefit from this meeting. And I hope you can then apply it in your practice, help you advance in your practice. So in the meantime, please be safe, be happy, be mindful. And if nothing happens, I'll see you again next week. Goodbye for now. Thank you.
สาธุค่ะ
สาธุค่ะ
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Thank you.
Sadhu,
Thank you,
sadhu.
Admin.